What's up, my fellow 1/6ers, my quarter scalers? We'll add in statue collectors and my Martian mates who share pints with me up at the pub. Welcome back to another edition of Figure This, Figure That, the Don's Figure Chat. Excuse me. Today, we have the honor of introducing a new member to Easy Company, Private Jackson, from the movie Saving Private Ryan. It's portrayed by Barry Pepper, and an excellent job he does indeed. He's the sniper of the unit. If you go look at the other ones, you'll notice they've got flotation belts, gas mask bags, all attached to them as they come off the landing craft. It looks like Private Jackson here has had time to ditch all of that, and this is how he's first introduced to Tom Hanks' Captain Millar. The rifle he has, a sniper's rifle made out of wood and metal. It carries 5 shots. I think it's the M19030A. He's got a battle vest, but it's different to the battle vests that the officers wear. He's got his trusty Bowie for hand-to-hand combat. He's got a 1911 on his side that fires 45 slugs. Down here, you can see that green cylinder is for holding his long scope. He's usually got the short scope on the rifle, but I thought, well, we'll put it there so you can see the difference between the shorter one and the long one. I've also, as we say in the technical illustration game, I've exploded the water bottle so you can see the cover, the water bottle, and that's the Dixie cup that you use to brew your coffee, put your beans in, whatever. That is what that's for. The cylinder, you come back, he's got an ammo belt. Down here, the black feather, which I still to this day don't know what it's for. 5 round clip. Come over here, he's got his Rangers insignia and extra buttons and his rank. Entrenching tool. What grunt is complete without an entrenching tool? Those 2 hands at the back, those 2 are the bendy finger hands that DID, Dragon Dreams, are famous for. I don't think I've ever found a use for them yet. You open the box to this beauty. That's the insert that covers the foam clamshell inside. World War II, 2nd Ranger Battalion, Series 4, Private Jackson. You come across here, and this is the fold-out lid of the box. If you can see, it's got the 2 sides, and it just sticks to the sides of the box with little sellotape thing doodahs. Again, brilliant photo. You could use that as the backdrop in your details, or you could use that in as the backdrop in your details. But to be fair, I still haven't measured to see if it would fit, but there you go. So yeah, let's get back to the figure. He's got his rosary. I don't know if you can see it. Yes, I left the dog tags out and the rosary. He usually rubs the rosary. Oh, that sounds dirty. He usually rubs the rosary before he takes a shot while quoting Ezekiel. I can't say that word without my teeth in. Ezekiel, that's it. Ezekiel. Look at those piercing blue eyes, man. You wouldn't like to see those on the other side of a scope looking at you. Yeah, as I was saying, there's his bowie for when it gets messy, and he has to go hand to hand. Most would carry a trench knife. But actually, you can see he's got the Colt 45 there. Now, that's usually officers' issue only, the same as the battle vest. But once you see him just now in a different pose, you'll see this battle vest is different to what the officers wear. It's actually got, I don't know if you can see it from here, but just at the bottom of where the green hits the arm there is a whole series of ammo pouches that are actually roped in to the battle vest. I'm not too sure why it is like that, but it is. Go down. He's got the same combat fatigues as the other Rangers. Also got the putties, and he's got the leather boots with real laces. Beautiful, beautiful addition to Easy Company. He's got his rifle in the classic rest easy pose. It's not according to regulation or manual, but yeah, a lot of us used to carry our rifles like this with the folded arm, almost like the Red Indian. It's got die-cast stall duck. That's the helmet. And I just told you about the weapon. Another interesting fact is that it cocks. It does everything a proper rifle is supposed to do. So that's a really nice touch, eh? So you could have him posed up with that clip in his hand, loading the weapon before he takes the shot. I think that's quite a nice addition. Oh, excuse me. Oh, my back's giving me jip. Yeah, beautiful piece. I'm glad I got him to add him to Easy Company, because he brings something else to the crew. He has got the knife, but for some reason, they haven't given him a knife hand. The hand they do give is this one here. So the front one is the hand I've added, and the one behind him is supposed to be the knife hand, but it doesn't hold the knife at all. So that's the hand that holds the stock of the rifle when he's taking a shot. So yeah, I don't know why they didn't kill two birds with one stone, but they didn't, so I've added it. But what do you think, lads, lasses? That is a dope piece, eh? I mean, look at that intense stare. 1,000-yard stare, they used to call it. I mean, we owe these guys, I say it every time when Captain Millar, Raven, we owe them such a debt of gratitude, you know, for what they laid down for us, what they did for us. Otherwise, we would have been living under a totally different rule now. The British troops, the American troops, yeah, we owe them a huge debt of gratitude. So if I can talk about that while I'm looking at a figure that I love and why I love it, then yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm a military man at heart. I was in the South African Marines. My dad was a diver in the Royal Navy. So yeah, it runs in the family. I've been military mad since hoe flung dung, eh? Since Action Men days, and when I was old enough to read comics and books. I immerse myself in books. I'm an avid reader. But that's another thing that we talk about in hospital conversations. So if you're ever looking for something to do or something to watch, bang on our hospital conversations. You'll enjoy them. But back to the boy here. He's from the south of, like Louisiana and all those places. So very Christian upbringing, hence Ezekiel, quoting Ezekiel before he takes a shot, hence why rubbing the rosary before he takes a shot, asking the Lord God to make his aim good and true, so that he can save lives by taking someone else's life. Yeah, war, what a vicious, sad, horrible thing, eh? I mean, these lads went through it, eh? He was one of the guys, when they landed on Omaha Beach, they had to break through a cordon of barbed wire and pillboxes manned by about 7 to 8 Nazis or Germans with Spandau machine guns. So you can imagine the carnage that they left on the field. They were cutting these guys into pieces. And then Sniper Jackson comes along here and starts making a plan. Tom Hanks, Captain Millar, is his captain in charge. And it's his squad that he picks out. Jackson is one of them, to go on the hunt for Saving Private Ryan. The whole premise of the movie is James Francis Ryan, his mom has already had 3 letters on the same day of her sons dying in combat, KIA. So the brigadier in charge says, no, that's too much to bear for any one family. There's one brother left. Let's find him and get him the hell home. And that is the premise of the movie, Saving Private Ryan. The dilemmas they face in amongst them, you know, like, why him and not me? But I think you can understand why, you know, for the mother's sake, that she gets at least one son home. That's just how horrible war is, eh? I mean, you can imagine in the old days, the Civil War, North versus South, that was like family member against family member. Best friends against best friends. I mean, wow. Let me just go over this stuff again. You get the 2 bendy finger hands. You get 1, 2 expressive hands, a fist, and the left hand for holding the rifle, because he's left-handed. The feather, I do not knoweth where it cometh. The DID, famous button hook, because they're real buttons, so you have to do slide and jerk. There's his Ranger insignia and his rank. He's a private first class, I think, the same as Raven. Oh, there's his entrenching tool. His scope cylinder for carrying the long scope. Magazine belt. You come over here, he's got his water bottle with Dixie cup with the cover. And what do you think, lads? He's a beautiful figure, eh? And when you get to the end and you see the 3 of them all posed up together, you can know why I love these figures so much, eh? Really, you can do so much with them. It's like playing with a small human. The amount of poses you can get them in, nothing. You can do every one. A really, really stellar piece. But I mean, DID, when it comes to military figures, yeah, second to none, eh? Second to none. The tailoring that's gone into these outfits is, oof, really, really Savile Row quality, eh? It's really good. And the likeness, I mean, you can see that's Barry Pepper from any angle. Just remember, this is Barry Pepper here, the figure we're doing, and not the picture on the box, for those that are a bit slow. Or They've had a couple of pints already because it's Friday. Okay, now I'm starting to speak drivel. So, I'll give you a quick once over again. And then I say, let's get ready to rumble. I swore I wouldn't sing that for this figure. And then we'll get him in some dope sniper poses. What do you think? Yeah? I agree. I concur wholeheartedly. So, me and Barry, for now, we'll say, Barry first. I'll be back. That was me. I bet you thought it was him talking, eh? So, yeah, I'll leave you in the capable hands of Private Jackson. I'll be back. How's it? Welcome back. Here we go in to see Private Jackson in a knife fighting stance. The area to protect in most knife fights, and Marines keep the knife close to the body, is to protect this area here. They call it the box. Keep the knife in the box with your block hand in the box as well. Your hand grip firmly around the knife like a hammer. It's called a hammer grip. You can't see it here, but the body is twisted to the opposite direction into what the legs are placed in, the stance the legs are in. So yeah, I didn't take his Colt 45 out the holster because yeah, I didn't want to open it up, and those clasps are easy to damage, so I just left it. And I've put this 45 in his hand because it matches his outfit. And yeah, so there you have it. Great pose in the knife fight, and he looks evil as hell, eh? With that style duck looking down. Knife always pointed towards the enemy with a firm grip. You come in with a series of slashes to confuse the opponent, and then you start the stabbing techniques. Jackson was quite a good knife fighter by all accounts, hence why he carried his traditional Bowie with a staghorn handle. That wouldn't have been military issue. So let's see if we can back up a bit and you can see his stance. His back is slightly hunched, twisted to the side, with the predominant knife hand facing towards where you're going to launch the attack. So that hand would have turned in the direction that his eyes are as he came in with the first series of slashes before he turns it into a stabbing instrument. He's using his Colt 45 as a block. He's run out of ammo, so he's using it like you would a towel around your arm or a jacket around your arm. He's using the Colt 45. I'm sure at the time he wished he had bullets. But dope, eh? That is a real fighting stance from the Marines handbook. He looks really, really dope. I do love me a bit of knife fighting. I used to collect blades. Most of my blades were custom Damascus. I'm going to put a series of photos up when we go into the hobby section, when I do some more Guillermo Ficino cars. I'll also add in my knife collection photos. I used to love my sword canes. Love them. Okay, what I've also done down here is I've put the telescopic sight on, and I've also pulled the cocking bolt back. Can you see that? So that there is the bolt pulled back. That's how intricately detailed these DID weapons are. Really dope, eh? Really, really nice. There's the whole weapon. As a, you know, as I say, that would be the rounds there. Comes in 5 clips. And yeah, you would have tons of those, you know. But it's not a good weapon to use in combat per se. A machine gun or a Thompson or a semi-automatic would be much better. But you make do with what you've got. That's the canister, or what you issued with, I should say. There's the canister. It's got the long scope in. We'll be using that in a pose coming up. I've put the Dixie cup back on the water bottle to show you now how it fits and folds and all goes nicely into the pouch. There's the leather sheath. Of course, the hands. And believe it or not, they give you a knife, but they don't give you a knife fighting hand. That was like that Greek fighter I did the other day. He comes with 2 trigger hands. They have guns back in defense of Troy. There's his ammo belt. But yeah, this is the start of the show. Private Jackson. Look at that, man. How dope doesn't that look? That would strike fear in even Conan's heart. Very, very dope, eh? He just looks the part. It's amazing how detailed these things are, eh? Really. It's actually shocking. I mean, you've seen it in 4K now. There we go. That's what you'd be looking at, facing him. Just the eyes, just below the brim of the steel helmet. Lovely, bloody jubbly. And we found out the other day, the shake that you see, that I've been thinking is me in the gimbal, is actually a bug in the iPhone 12 camera. The focus problem, we've been battling with lighting for weeks. And it's a bloody iPhone focus problem. And I'm assured that the engineers are working tirelessly to come out with a fix. It'll either be a patch or an update. You can see there, he's opened nearly all of his ammo pouches looking for ammo. And sadly, Private Jacko is out. So it's to the trusty knife, the blade, that he turns. Oh, lekker. Very, very lekker, Peter. That's from an advert in South Africa. Don't think you would get it, but it sounds good on video. Okay, so yeah, that knife fighting hand I had to get from my box of tricks, my box of spares. So I'll just keep it with him from now on. Because you've got to have a knife fighting hand if you've got a bloody knife. I suppose as they movie masterpieces, he doesn't get to fight with the blade. So, yeah, maybe that's why they didn't give you a knife holding hand. Let me just... Oh, I've got him on another IC Customs rooftop diorama that was made for my Spider-Man. But I've got the quarter scale Spider-Man now, and I sold my upgraded suit Spider-Man to one of my good friends, Sean Fumeridge, the guy that convinced me to get the endgame cap. And to be fair, I'm not too disappointed with that, because he's such a fantastic figure. It's like endgame Iron Man, you know. They've combined all the good things to make one fabulous figure. Okay, I'll just go over the extras again quickly. So you get the telescope, carrying canister, ammo belt, water bottle, which should be hanging on his webbing, trench tool, a few hands, the feather, the clip, rank and file, and another star of this whole show is this baby. Hey, how was that? The detail, man. Look at the detail. So yeah. And putting this small telescope on, I don't know if you can see, but the fat piece is towards the end, and I was confused as hell because I always thought the fat piece was on the other end, but yeah, obviously not. That's for the eyepiece. But yeah, you learn something new every day in this game. Look at the detail on the bricks. Okay. Sensei Steve, as I call him. Diorama Sensei. So there's your last look at Jackson in his knife fighting pose. Let's go for another pose at what he's also good at, which is sniping. So you just hang around here, just don't piss him off with that knife in his hand, and I'll be back. Okay, I thought while I've got him out and his knife's out the sheath, we'll do another knife fighting pose. This is the forward stance, where he uses the hand to block the neck, and he's keeping out of range of any kicks from his opponent. And his main objective is to slash and stab, as I was saying with Captain Millar the other day, I think. Slashing makes the opponent bleed, and the more blood he loses, the weaker he gets. But your main point of contact would be to slash or cut his knife hand, because disable the knife hand, you disable the knife. Yes, he can put it into the other hand, but he wouldn't be as useful in the other hand if he's left or right-handed. Ambidextrous people that can use both left and right, they must be, if they trained in knife fighting techniques, they must be lethal. Lethal, eh? It's called the border switch as well. If you show your opponent you're left-handed, and all of a sudden throw the knife into the right hand, it can throw the opponent off big time. As you can see, very easy to pose. It's a whole new body stance from the last one. I don't know if you can notice the change in body stance because of the outfit or the uniform. But now there's no hunch in his back. He's just leant over to one side and back ramrod straight. It helps give power to drive through the shoulder as you complete the movement. Very nice, eh? Wouldn't like to meet him in a dark alley. Unless it was a marine girl. Then we... Okay, boys and girls, that's me back. And Private Jackson is in his first firing pose. So he's behind a sandbag parapet, and he's really looking the real deal. I've put his long scope next to him in the cylinder, plus a spare clip that he can just reach for without spoiling his stance too much if he's got the eye. But there you go. I'm using a crutch grabber just to help support him. But yeah, the more I pose these figures up and play around with them, the more impressed I am with them, eh? They really are fantastic pieces. I mean, look at that, eh? That's really, really dope. I'm amazed. I'm amazed at my own prowess. He's got his trusty blade tucked away now. He's in the firing stance. He's using the forward leg as support and the back leg as anchored firmly to the ground. You can get almost any pose you want out of these figures I'm learning, as long as you're willing to play around and faff, and you can get the pose that you're looking for. I mean, look at that, eh? That really is dope. You can't say otherwise, eh? That's really, really nice. And he does it for you. The figures do it for you, you know? They pose so easily and so nicely. Let's see if we can get a forward shot where that is the anchor point for the camera. I don't know how it's looking there. Yeah, there it is. There it is. He's just about to end your life and you've only just spotted him. Super dope, eh? Hey, look at that, man. So this would be, how can I describe it? A combat stance. It's not a long shot. He's just using the rifle to kill, basically, you know? Maybe heads up above the parapet or up above the trenches or behind some rubble. He spotted them and it's a quick snapshot up to the shoulder and bang, you're dead. So this is not one of his sniper positions per se, although he is using the short scope. This is, as I say, more a weapon as a weapon and not as a sniper rifle, if that makes sense. But he looks dope, eh? Yeah, I'm over the moon, eh? When I first started posing, I was thinking I'm never going to get this pose. But it happened. It happened. I'm just so skilled in the art of posing. What a load of drivel. I can see I'm going to have to 303 wipe that belt because it's looking quite dry. The sling for his rifle, and maybe do the holster and the boots as well. In the Marines back in South Africa, we used to do this thing called boning to the boots. It's where you polish the toe of the boot. You can't see his boots here. Where you polish the toe of the boot till it shines like a bloody mirror, and I mean like a mirror. You were only allowed to do the toe part and the heel part. But your dress out, your dress out uniform that you would go on parade with, or yeah, mostly just for parades, you could bone the whole boot. So you can imagine we had white pants, white tunic, gold buttons with your rank and insignia sewed on the side, and with these polished boots. We used to look the business, eh? Look at that, eh? I'm honestly blown away at how this figure lends itself to getting the shot that you want. Honestly, it wasn't hard at all, eh? I don't know if do you think it's a shit pose or what, but I'm over the moon that I could get him in this pose. The next one is a firing lay down prone position to see if we can get it right there. Just remember, he hasn't got a spotter. All of this is judged by the eye when he's shooting. Obviously, he's got the telescopic sights, but everyone thinks they're easy to use, and they're not, eh? They're not easy to use. It's a skill set of its own type, eh? Some of us just have the knack. Like, as I was telling you, Muata, he can hit a fucking fly's eye at 1,000 yards. And that's firing a pin from an elastic band. You should see him with a rifle. But yeah, very, very dope, eh? I've put the cocking bolt back in position, as I say. And there's the 5-shot clip. So that, is it in focus there? There we go. That is what goes in the rifle. So 5 shots. And obviously he carries loads of those in that webbing belt around his waist. But yeah, nice, eh? Now you can see the string threaded through to keep the ammo belt attached to the vest. So it's not a battle vest per se as like Captain Millar's. It must just be useful for a sniper to have a vest like that. Firstly, for his ammo belts, and secondly, he can he's got his all his pencil charts and the whole move in all these pockets. So yeah, there we go. He's just about to shoot you straight through the eye. Just through the eye. No messing about with Private Jackson. So I'll leave you in the crosshairs. I'm sorry to have to do that to you, but these things happen. And let's get him set up in another pose. I'll be back. Right, boys and girls, that's me back with Private Jackson with the long scope on, up in the parapet, prone position, just about to take a shot. He's got a clip next to his trigger hand so that he can remove his hand and not spoil the aim of the rifle by slowly moving his hand to pick up the clip and keep the same elevation or the same distance with the rifle. The only thing I'd say difficult about getting him in this pose was keeping the long scope on the rifle, because it's only held on with 2 little slides. And as soon as you put the eye to the scope, it was falling off. So it was rather frustrating, it was. So there you go. He's got his water bottle next to him because he's been up there a long time. He's got his open scope canister. As I say, he's in the prone position, up behind a parapet. He would have taken the high point, because the high point you always got the advantage. And yeah, there he is, a Sniper Jackson. How dope doesn't that? I know I keep on saying it, but for me that's beautiful. Just so nice, man. And as I say, so easy to pose, eh? He just falls into position. So maybe let's see how far before we're in his line of sight. So that I could actually go down lower, but all you would see is the end of the rifle over the top of the parapet. Let's see if it'll zoom in on it. There we go. So that's what you would see. Yes, that's nice, eh? Really, really nice. His piercing blue eyes looking at you through the scope. Lovely, bloody jubbly. I tell you what, I was saying to Mate, and I said to you guys earlier, every time I pose him, I fall more in love with him. And that doesn't just go for him. It goes for all the Private Ryan, Saving Private Ryan figures I've got at the moment. So now you see his short cropped hair, now that the helmet's off. Okay, so as you can see, he's still on the IC Customs rooftop diorama. And he looks magnificent, eh? Look at him in sniper mode. Look at the brickwork though on the diorama. As I say, this was made for my Spider-Man, but I suppose I could also use him for Assassin's Creed Ezio to get that special diving thing that he does. But yeah, I've got it packed up with sandbags, like a parapet, where Private Jackson is lying in wait to shoot you directly through the left nut, because you've pissed him off. Usually he would go for the kill shot, but on this instant, he's gone for the nut shot. There's the long scope on the rifle. Really dope, eh? How they've designed this. Very simple to slide the smaller one off and put this one on. As I say, there's his canister. It's got the small scope in at the moment. The water bottle, because he's going to be up here for a while. Helmet off. 9 times out of 10, you'll find most soldiers don't like those stall duck helmets, eh? And you'll find a lot of them. That's why you see the straps are loose. Because when you're running or when you're moving and it's strapped, yes, as it bounces up and down on your head like a yo-yo, and very uncomfortable. Look at that, though. Look at that. I'm so chuffed, eh? You look so dope. Really, I mean, that looks real. And look how strategically I have placed that photo. Yeah, it's not easy being a Golden Glober. Not easy. Let's drift back so we can see him more. And then if we go over the top, that's when you can see the prone position, feet wide apart. And feet, they should be actually parallel to the ground. But some shooters, snipers like to be on their toes. I suppose it all depends on the sniper or the shooter. There he is. There he is. There's the man. There is the man with a plan. Very religious guy, as I was telling you earlier. So he would always rub his rosary. That sounds rub his rosary. Before he took a shot, and he would quote from Ezekiel. I can't remember the quote off by heart, so I'm not even going to try it. But yeah, how's that, eh? Okay, I think his hands just slipped out. Can you see it? It's not holding the rifle anymore. But there's only me and you know. Nobody else knows. The guy he's aiming at doesn't know. Makes me almost want to stop the video and restart. Like hell, eh? It still looks dope. Maybe he's just let go of the rifle so he can pick up his extra rounds. So he's used the first round as marker, well, as spotter. He's used the second round as marker. Third, fourth, and fifth round are straight through your eye. Or wherever else he can hurt you with a kill shot. Bit of oxymoron. This is the view I like best about him. And again, he's not in any stressful poses, eh? He's just in the prone position, elbow bent on his left hand, because he is left-handed, Private Jackson. And a bit of a shoulder and a elbow bend on the right arm. So, yeah, he would be cool being left in this position. But, yeah, that's if you've got, like, display cabinets big enough to hold him. It's not so much the width, it's more the depth. Like I've got 2 dope mirrored display cabinets up above my mantelpiece, but depth wise they're only about 15 centimeters, so it just holds a quarter scale diorama. But yeah, the Detolfs and the other wooden mirror backs I've got, they, well, you know how big the Detolf is, but this IKEA wooden one, or was it Amazon? I got it off Amazon. It's got about 25 centimeters So that's quite dope. You know, you can put quite a few figures in there with these type of poses or standing poses. But I'm hoping to put all 3, well 4 when I get Horwath, 5 when I get Damon, into their own display cabinet. Yeah, that's a long way off though, long way off. But he looks dope, eh? Yeah, I'm over the moon with this pose. All the sniper poses I've been chuffed with. Okay, so here we go. We're just about to now go into the last pose. Maybe add the 3 of them together, or just him. I'm not too certain yet of what I'm going to do. I'll go over accessories quick. You get the rifle with the extra clip. You get the ammo belt. You get 2 scopes. You get this long scope and a short scope. You get the scope canister at the back there. Water bottle and Dixie cup. Stall duck. Come down here. There's the hands. 2 bendy finger hands. I've added a knife holding hand. Extra buttons, rank and insignia. Entrenching tool. And just another odd fact about World War II, these entrenching tools, when the Germans were pulling out of Stalingrad and they had no ammo, no this, no that, they would use those, they would sharpen them and use them in hand-to-hand combat. The German entrenching tool had a wooden handle and a vicious scoop, eh? And you sharpen it, it would take your head off in an instant. So there's an interesting fact for you. You get his button hook, you get his die-cast Bowie, you get the black feather of remembrance. I still don't know what that feather's supposed to mean. I've asked Moate if he can remember it and save it, Private Ryan. I've asked Google and no one knows, damn it. No one knows. That's the insert that you open up the box to. This here is the actual art box, if you can call it that. It's a fold away box. Let's see, can you see there? So it just folds over the sides and stuck with 2 or 3 little sticky things, very technical term that. And there we go, Private Jackson, 2nd Panzer Battalion. 2nd Panzer? Oh, 2nd Ranger, man. That's fucking Panzer. Series 4, Private Jackson. And there he is in the flesh, holding his rifle. Beautiful, eh? Okay, well, we'll take it there. And just now we'll come back for that 3rd and final pose. Don says, I'll be back. Okay, boys and girls, I've left Private Jackson in the sniper pose. I've added First Class Private Rabin, holding his BAR, the Browning automatic rifle, shoots a 30-06 round, which in South Africa would be the 7.65. So yeah, quite a dope rifle there, isn't it? Come across here, I've got Captain Millar in a semi-relaxed pose, Thompson over his shoulder, and yeah, looking very dope indeed. Got his hand tucked into his rifle sling and the other hand in the ammo bag. You come across here and we've got Private Jackson in his sniper pose, which looks really dope. I don't know what it looks like on camera yet, but it looks fantastic in person. Come down here and I've just received my new Marines coaster, because we now recognize as an official branch of the SA Defence Force. We were able to get our signet rings numbered, very nice. And my coaster, which I am going to use for a base for my Tom Hanks figure, or Rabin or Jackson. So come across and you get all three all posing it up for us and looking pretty damn cool, I must admit. Okay, let me just take this out the frame. There you can see properly the IC Customs diorama rooftop. As I say, this was for my Spider-Man figure, 1/6 scale. But I now use it to put my 1/4 scale Joker on, actually. And he looks dope on it, eh? But for now, it's the sniper's perch for Private Jackson. I tell you what, I know I've said it time and time again, but these three figures are just really stupendously good. Stupendously good. The level of detail and the quality of the clothes just comes alive when you pose them. I know some of the guys have weathered theirs and battle damaged theirs. As I say, maybe if I had the skill set to do it, I would. Or if I had the body to be able to sit for long periods of time, I would get the old airbrush out and my paint sets and start going mad. I've got a friend that is Bat Fanatic Customs. I was telling you about him before. He does the small soldier figures, the Archer and Chip Hazard. And he's weathered his Roman General from ACI Toys. And yeah, it looks amazing, eh? Steve Weber from IC Customs has also weathered his, or battle damaged his, I should say. He's Roman General from ACI, and again looks fantastic, eh? He's building a diorama at the moment of the Colosseum to put the How Toys Gladiator figure in the black armor on a rearing steed, a horse back up on its 2 legs, you know, like in the movie. Single column. Yeah, and that is going to look amazing, eh? We're going to do like an expose on some of the customizers. I've already got photos from Brett from Bat Fanatic. I've been given photos from Steve Weber at IC Customs. There's 1 or 2 other guys that we want to add to the mix. Darren, Biggie Rowe, he's paint apps. And yeah, some of the figures he builds really are, you could sell them as hot toys. They're that good. Look at that. Isn't that dope? Isn't that dope? Okay, so I'll do one more pan with Tom Hanks, because he hasn't had his second pan yet. And then maybe what I'll do is turn him around so you can see, not turn him completely, but yeah, there's his Thompson. So he's looking out, see what's on the horizon. Notice, as I said, officers and entrenching tools, the 2 words don't even mix. Come over here. Let's see if we can turn Big Bad Rabin, yeah? Because he has a bit of a hussy fit in the movie. There we go. With his New York, Brooklyn jacket. Also a very dope piece, eh? And if you heard that, that was my coaster falling off my knee onto the deck. Okay, right, so there's the 3. Let's turn them back round. But I think we've done enough panning and turning and of these 3. It's time now to put them back on display in their display spots and just live happy. Hey, I really love these 3 figures. I really do. But with that said, I shall leave you in the glare of Private Jackson, Private Raven, and Captain Millar. Please, if you like the new format, you like what we're doing with the posing as we go along with telling you what I love about each figure, please hit subscribe, maybe hit like or dislike, and yeah, leave a comment. I'm dead curious as to what the black feather is for, why Jackson's got it. I know the white feather's got something to do with cowardice, but also if someone dies who you love, if someone passes and a white feather comes across your path, apparently that's your dear past relative or friend that is trying to contact you from the beyond. But I don't know what the black feather's for. It must have a reason, otherwise I wouldn't have put it in with him. Okay. Really, really nice. Really nice. As I say, hit subscribe, hit like or dislike, and yeah, leave a comment or 2, man. Tell us what you think of the new format. Is it working? So with all that said, I'll say stay healthy, stay happy. More importantly, at these times, stay safe. You and your families. And the Don will say, peace out.